Why would you think it looks like a hammer? It makes no sense at all. Well, hi there. My name is Clint LOVES. I have a PhD in biology, as well as degrees in biology and zoology. With my wife, Lehi, we run a biology outreach center in Springville, Utah called Clint's Reptile Room. We just finished our second year of summer camps called Clint's Reptile Academy. And we're about to begin our first semester of university-level continuing education courses called Clint's Life Science Academy. And today, I have news. I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but we have another Who Would Win book to review. I've done 4 of them now. I'm 4/7 of the way through this nightmare. One was the worst book I have ever read in my entire life. And one made me unbelievably happy. And this one is about one of my absolute favorite groups of animals on the planet, which should make me happy. But there were plenty of sharks in this book, and I still don't think I've recovered from it. But I do love sharks. They're on my short list of favorite animals on the planet. And the cover of this book features 4 totally amazing sharks. A tiger shark, a great white, a great hammerhead, and a goblin shark. And I will be pretty upset if the winner of this tournament isn't one of these 2. But we shall find out. Nothing shocks me anymore. By the way, this video has one of the greater Patreon extras videos associated with it. It'll teach you a lot about sharks, a lot about biology, and most importantly, perhaps of all, how to fall asleep at night when you're really struggling with that. So, if you would like to see that video, please consider supporting us on Patreon. So, who would win Ultimate Shark Rumble? Here we go. All right, round 1, basking shark versus bull shark. Well, I appreciate that they didn't begin by arbitrarily eliminating all of the strongest competitors, so that's an advantage over some of these books. What would happen if 16 sharks were invited to a contest? What if there was a bracketed fight? Who would win? If a shark loses a round, it's out of the competition. Okay, the basking shark is the 2nd largest fish in the world. It's definitely the 2nd longest shark in the world. They get to about 11 meters long. Fish, I mean, an argument can be made that the blue whale is the longest fish in the world, since they're more closely related to trout than trout are to sharks. But let's go with that. When people think of fish traditionally, non-tetrapod fish, this is the 2nd longest non-tetrapod fish in the world. The basking shark got its name from basking in or lying in the sun. The basking shark is a filter feeder. It swims with its mouth open near the surface of the ocean. Don't be afraid, it has tiny teeth. That's just true. The bull shark is a man-eating shark. It moves in shallow water where some people swim. That is very true. That's part of why a lot of people get bitten by them. It also swims up rivers and sometimes into lakes. The bull shark does attack people. Beware. Okay, and bull sharks live well in captivity. These are all true facts so far, as long as we're understanding that they mean non-tetrapod fish. Bull sharks do occasionally attack people, and they do move into fresh water, so sometimes they're in places where people don't expect them to be. When you live in fresh water, your cells, which have more salt in them than the water around you, are actively taking on water all of the time, and you're having to get rid of water extensively. You take on too much water, and so freshwater fish, for example, they pee like all the time. They're just trying to get rid of water because they're taking on so much water by osmosis. Saltwater fish, on the other hand, have the opposite problem. The water around them has more solute in it than their cells do, and so it is actively pulling water out of their cells, and so they are actively moving water into their cells. And so if you take a freshwater fish and move it to saltwater, it quickly loses all the water from its cells because they are adapted to dumping water. If you take a saltwater fish and move it into freshwater, then its cells rapidly swell and burst because they are used to taking on water. They're not good at getting rid of water, and now they've got the opposite problem. There are sharks and other fishes like bull sharks that are called euryhaline. And these are not, bull sharks are not the only euryhaline sharks. They're also like sandbar sharks and smooth dogfishes. But they can switch their physiology so that they can move from saltwater to freshwater and vice versa, or live in brackish environments where it's saltier than freshwater, but not as salty as the ocean. And that's why you get bull sharks way up rivers, up into the Mississippi, down into the Nile, all kinds of different places where you normally wouldn't expect to encounter a shark. And this can also, this highly adaptive nature, the fact that they can live in all sorts of different water conditions and things, that probably explains why they do pretty well in captivity. They are, though, much smaller than a basking shark. Basking shark, again, is the second largest of all sharks. Bull sharks get only about 3.5 meters. And despite this, my money is still on the bull shark. If they weren't so comparatively small versus some of the other competitors I think will do the best, I would have added them to my list of possible winners for this entire competition. For their size, I think the bull shark has the strongest bite force of any shark. They also hunt in areas of poor visibility, which is important if you're living in rivers and things. So this would give them a very good chance against all sorts of sharks if visibility is poor. And they eat sharks. So, I mean, they're a natural winner in this competition. But again, they're less than 3.5 meters. They're just too small to win the whole thing. That said, so I don't think they'll win the whole thing. And even though I doubt that they hunt adult basking sharks, and despite being much, much smaller than a basking shark, they do have the weapons to do real damage to a basking shark. And basking shark, being a filter feeder, would struggle to do any damage at all to a bull shark. So though I don't think the bull shark will win the whole tournament, and though it wouldn't be even close to the biggest upset we have seen in these stupid books if the basking shark won, the bull shark should win this one. No big teeth, only a filter feeder jaw. The basking shark does not stand a chance. The bull shark's strong jaw and sharp teeth bite chunks out of the basking shark. Goodbye, basking shark. Fishy fact, all sharks are fish. Arguably. But if all sharks are fish and trout are fish, then so are you. And blue whales too. It's actually easier to say that sharks aren't fish than to say that you aren't a fish. But overall, let's see. The bull shark that swam true story, a bull shark that swam up a river in Africa got eaten by a crocodile. Seems entirely plausible. You swim up the Nile, bad things can happen to you. But the bull shark wins. And that seems right. Okay, Mako shark versus saw shark. And just so you know, there is such a thing as a saw shark. It's not the same thing as a sawfish, which is a type of ray, but this picture is a saw shark. And you can tell this by this little barbel, and also by the placement of the gills on the side of the body instead of underneath. So this is a great job. So far, this book hasn't missed, and that's pretty terrific. Okay, so the short fin Mako is the fastest shark in the ocean. It can swim up to 45 miles per hour, which is the actual speed. So I'm glad they're making some improvements on finding out how quickly fishes can move through the water. Makos are often called the cheetahs of the sea or falcons of the ocean. It's nice to be able to outswim your enemies. I've never heard them called that, but that makes sense. Enough? Okay. Sharks do not fall asleep like we do. They have active and rest periods. For example, reef sharks rest on the bottom of the ocean. Sounds an awful lot like what we do, except not on the ocean floor. Okay. Mako shark versus saw shark. We already said that. The saw shark has teeth along its nose. It's an easy shark to identify. It uses its nose to slash at schools of fish. How would you like to have teeth on your nose? I wouldn't. I would not like to have teeth on my nose. The word Mako means shark in the Maori language. Okay, so this one's Mako shark all day, every day. This is a 4-meter super fast torpedo that routinely eats sharks and other large fishes versus a comparatively slow dachshund-sized morsel with a spiky nose and no venom or anything. This would be the biggest upset since the leatherback sea turtle. So, cross your fingers. The saw shark is scary looking, but it is no match for the Mako. The lightning fast Mako swims right at the saw shark and bites its tail off. The saw shark is wounded and cannot swim. Yeah, it's going to be hard to win without a tail. Mako shark wins. That seems right. Okay. Seven-gilled shark versus hammerhead shark. I shouldn't be so impressed with the outcomes of this first round, given how lopsided these matches have been. But this one here is a battle of a less than 3 meter shark versus a shark that can get to be over 6 meters. As we saw with the basking shark, size isn't everything, but unlike the basking shark, both of these sharks hunt smaller sharks, and one of these two is a smaller shark. But let's see what they have to say. Mammals have lungs, fish have gills. Okay, mammals do have lungs. Mammals aren't the only things with lungs, but mammals do have lungs. Fish have gills, unless they don't, like mammals, for example. And even things like, well, I think all non-tetrapod fish have gills, though some are obligate air breathers with lungs or other apparati that they use to breathe air off the surface, and so sometimes the gills aren't enough. But anyway, almost all sharks have 5 gill slits on each side of their heads. That's true. True to its name, the 7-gilled shark has 7 gills. Also true. Sharks do not have bones. Their skeletons are made of cartilage, the same kind of material in your nose. That's true. Okay, its head doesn't look like a hammer to me. Okay, it looks more like an airplane wing. Okay, I mean, functionally it may be more like an airplane wing, and I get it, but I don't think when you usually tell a kid, like, this is a hammerhead shark, they're like, but why? Why would anyone call it? This doesn't make any. That looks like an airplane wing to me, because airplanes usually have wings coming right off the front, right off the nose. That's where wings tend to be on planes. You didn't think that. You're just saying that because it's true. When people see that shape, they know exactly what kind of shark it is. An airplane wing shark. Everybody knows. Okay, hammerhead fact, its eyes are positioned to have excellent vision. That's true. And one kind of hammerhead shark is known as the bonnethead. That's also true. So just talking a little more about that head wing, the hammer is called a cephalofoil, which literally means head wing. And its position does help vision both above and below, as well as depth perception. So hammerheads have the best depth perception of any shark, as far as I know. The head shape may, like was sort of insinuated here, it may help generate some lift, as you see with airplane wings. It also might help with maneuverability, though the hammerhead sharks have other adaptations that really facilitate them making really tight turns. Another benefit of this hammer-shaped head, or wing, no one's ever thought of it as being a hammer. This wing head that they have is that it gives more area for ampullae de Lorenzini, which are the hugely electro and pressure sensitive pits on the heads and bodies of sharks. Hammerheads a lot of times hunt stingrays and things that are even underneath the substrate, and they can detect them with these ampullae de Lorenzini, almost like a metal detector going over there with that head. But anyway, the facts here are pretty good, and the great hammerhead should also be the winner here. So let's see what happens. The hammerhead has excellent vision and can see backward. It's true. It's watching the 7-gilled shark's every move. When the 7-gilled shark makes a wrong turn, the bigger hammerhead attacks. 1 bite, 2 bites. Goodbye, 7-gilled shark. Fact, there is also a rare 6-gilled shark. Hammerhead shark wins. Yeah, correct. That seems right. These fights have been really easy to call so far, but given the history of these books, it's pretty astounding that they're getting them right. All right, so goblin shark versus tiger shark. Yeah, tiger shark. So we better talk about the goblin sharks while we still can. I love goblin sharks. They are so weird. But their incredible protrusible jaws are an excellent demonstration of suction feeding jaws in fishes. We have actually a whole video about this. And its elongated nose, like the wide head of the hammerhead, does allow for more space for ampullae de Lorenzini, which is really important as they do much of their hunting in deep water where vision is of little to no utility when hunting. But they're slow. Their teeth are for grabbing, but not lacerating small fish. They can get to be as much as about 6 meters long, so they're about the size of a tiger shark, but this isn't going to be a fight. So let's see what they have to say. The deep water goblin shark has a scary looking double face. This shark species has been on Earth for more than 100 million years. Its ancestors probably had fights with plesiosaurs and dinosaurs. As far as that double face, because the jaws can protrude so far, and because it's generally a deep water shark, and so for a long time we basically only knew them from dead sharks that we found. sometimes they would go into rigor mortis with their jaws at different points in their extension. And for a while, we had classified them as different species based on how far out the jaws were, because they look so dramatically different. So they do really have like a double face, which is pretty wild. For the record, all extant lineages coexisted with dinosaurs. Not even talking about the surviving dinosaurs, but non-avian dinosaurs. All extant lineages coexisted with non-avian dinosaurs. You have ancestors that were eaten by dinosaurs, so it's not just the ancestors of goblin sharks. What it says here about this shark species has been on Earth for more than 100 million years, that's not actually true. The lineage of goblin sharks has been around since before the extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs, but this species is more modern. All extant lineages coexisted with dinosaurs. That said, I actually have my doubts that the ancestors of goblin sharks were eaten by dinosaurs, as there were no deep diving marine dinosaurs to my knowledge. So unless one ended up in the shallows and was, say, eaten by a Spinosaurus or something like that, you know, they probably wouldn't have a lot of interactions with dinosaurs, sort of like we've had very few interactions with goblin sharks. But plesiosaurs would be a little more likely. It says a plesiosaur is an extinct ocean reptile, and that's true. Meet the tiger shark. It has the perfect name. Surfers and swimmers beware. The tiger shark is known for attacking humans. It has teeth capable of biting through sea turtle shells. A sand tiger is a different species than a tiger shark. Okay, so that's all pretty true. I mean, tiger sharks often kind of explore there's some awesome footage of it. But tiger sharks often, and many sharks, but especially tiger sharks, it seems, explore the world with their mouths because they don't have hands. So they often bite people. I mean, sharks in general don't bite people, but tiger sharks are one of the more common perpetrators of a bite when people are bitten by sharks. And something that's really interesting, you see a lot of videos of divers now that swim with tiger sharks on the regular, because tiger sharks don't just come in and attack them hard. They don't view them as a clear prey species. They're just trying to figure out what they are. And so as they approach, these divers put their hands on the rostrum of the shark out in front of its mouth and just kind of push them down and away. And the tiger shark goes, all right. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing to watch. It's one of those things, though, that you want to get it right the first time that you try that out. So anyway, let's see how this fight goes. But it should be tiger shark all day. This fight is a matchup between an ancient, ugly shark and a sleek, beautifully designed fighting machine. The tiger shark has a larger tail and bigger fins, and it can swim faster and turn better than a goblin shark. The fight does not take long. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a fight, a beauty pageant, or an agility contest, but based on this picture, it looks like the goblin shark was eaten. So, kind of makes you wonder how the Miss America pageant would be different if the winners ate the losers at the end. But I'll keep that question to myself. Just saying it would be different. Like the real Hunger Games. Anyway, tiger shark wins. Some native Hawaiians believe that tiger sharks are the spirits of their ancestors. Free writer fact, shark suckers are fish that attach themselves to sharks. They're also called remoras. A few sketchy facts here, but all of the outcomes of these so far unfair fights have been totally reasonable. So let's keep going. Okay, great white shark versus lemon shark. Okay, the great white shark is one of the most famous sharks in the world. It has a huge, strong jaw with triangle-shaped serrated teeth. It gets blamed for the most attacks on humans around the world. Sharks have pectoral fins, dorsal fins, pelvic fins, anal fins, and caudal fins. Let's see, it's got arrows to all of them. Those all look accurate. So, for as sketchy as these books are, they're doing better in SeaWorld. This shark is light yellow in color. Wow, it is different. Again, that is different. But then it has two dorsal fins, like almost all sharks. Wow, it is different. It has eyes! I'm not sure why they specified. Okay, anyway, let's see how this goes. The lemon shark puts up a good fight, but the great white shark is too big, too strong, and too ferocious for the lemon shark. The great white shark swims right at the lemon shark and uses its powerful jaw to bite the lemon shark. The big bite is fatal. Great white shark wins. Correct. Okay, whale shark versus blacktip shark. This one is actually a pretty tough one. These two sharks would never fight. But let's just see what they have to say. Okay, so the whale shark is the largest and longest fish in the ocean, non-tetrapod fish. It grows up to 40 feet long and weighs up to 20 tons. It has tiny teeth and is a filter feeder. The whale shark swims with its huge mouth open. It strains or catches small sea creatures such as krill and copepods. Strange but true, the biggest fish eats the tiniest creatures. These aren't the tiniest creatures, but they're pretty little compared to especially the largest non-tetrapod fish in the world. And they do get over 40 feet long, so actually considerably larger than that. Almost 19 meters long, which is over 60 feet. So this is even an understatement of just how big they are. The whale shark is not a whale, like all sharks and whales. It is a fish. They didn't say the whales thing, but it's true. But they are a non-tetrapod fish, unlike whales. But they are not whales. A whale shark's mouth is up to 5 feet wide. It looks like a giant vacuum cleaner. Fair enough. I don't know. It functions sort of like a giant vacuum cleaner. I don't know that it looks... You have a really cool vacuum cleaner if it looks like a whale shark mouth. The blacktip shark got its name from the black tip on its dorsal fin. Blacktip sharks are aggressive. They move towards human swimmers. I'm actually not sure what shark this is supposed to be. So this drawing is a blacktip reef shark, which in my opinion is the most beautiful of all sharks. And it's a very real threat to win the Hunger Games. But blacktip reef sharks are timid and tend to avoid humans. Also, the name blacktip shark tends to refer to the oceanic blacktip, not the blacktip reef shark, which is a slightly larger shark, but they're still timid. They do show some curiosity about divers, but they tend to stay at a safe distance, and they do bite people from time to time. I think they've even killed someone, whereas I don't think anyone's ever been killed by a blacktip reef shark. So I think this is a place where the author meant oceanic blacktip, but the artist didn't know that there were two different blacktip sharks. As for who would win, I think I'd go with the whale shark. I mean, a whale shark's not going to do the blacktip any harm, but it will probably hardly even notice that the blacktip is there, and the blacktip will probably flee the giant shark as it approaches. So I'm going whale shark. It's just not fair, an aggressive shark against a filter feeder. The blacktip shark is not intimidated by the size of the whale shark. It swims and bites at the whale shark. Bites, bites, and more bites. The blacktip shark wounds the bigger whale shark. The whale shark loses too much blood, and it slowly sinks. This will be a giant meal for hundreds of other fish. That would never happen. I think the blacktip has more ability to harm the whale shark than the other way around, but this would never happen. Maybe it's like a blacktip with rabies. Thresher shark versus leopard shark. The thresher shark has a long tail. Its tail is more than half the length of its body. The tail allows it to swim, turn, and stop faster. It hunts using its tail to whip at schools of fish, which is totally awesome and true. Common thresher sharks are also called fox sharks. The leopard shark is a small shark that has leopard-like spots. It grows to only about 4 feet long. They actually get to like 1.8 meters, which is nearly 6 feet long. But anyway, the dwarf lantern shark is the smallest shark in the ocean. It is only about 8 inches long. The tiny cookie cutter shark cuts little cookie-shaped chunks out of other fish, dolphins, and whales. All right, so I'm going to start by saying I adore both of these sharks. Threshers are on my bucket list of sharks I would most like to see. They're not the top, but they're up there, and you can only see them in the wild, and that's awesome. A leopard shark is about the craziest animal that I would ever actually dream of keeping. But thresher sharks are bigger. They get to 6 meters. And I recognize that a disproportionate amount of that is tail, but even without their tails, they are twice the length of a leopard shark. This is like a 6-foot person fighting a 3-foot person. And their teeth are tiny. They're sharp, but they're very small. I doubt that one could seriously injure a thresher shark, at least an adult thresher shark. Threshers also tend to feed on small prey, but in addition to small prey, they feed on things like lancet fishes, which we saw in this video. And lancet fishes are about the same size as a leopard shark. So of the two, the thresher would be the only one that would potentially see the other as a meal. And it's also the only one with the tools to make it happen. So we're going thresher shark. The thresher shark circles the leopard shark to check it out. There's a huge size difference between this pair. The thresher shark uses its big tail to whip and stun the leopard shark. Its unusual tail is like a secret weapon. In Spanish, a shark is called a tiburon, but Thresher shark wins. So I think this should be the last battle of the round of mismatches. Megamouth versus Greenland shark. This is another filter feeder versus a macro carnivore, and this time the filter feeder is the smaller of the two, though they're both pretty big. If a blacktip shark of some sort would beat a whale shark, then there is no way that a megamouth shark, cool as it is, stands a chance against a Greenland shark. I'm really not sure why all 3 filter feeding sharks had to be in this tournament, but none of them are going to last very long. The Megamouth is a big, long shark with a wide mouth. This rare deepwater shark was discovered in 1976. Don't be scared. Big mouth, big lips, no big deal. This shark is also a filter feeder. Rare fact, few people have ever seen a Megamouth shark. That's true. Don't mix up the Megamouth with a Megalodon, the largest shark that ever lived. The prehistoric megalodon is extinct and probably ate whales. No big deal. Greenland sharks have also been called gurry sharks or gray sharks. They live the longest of any shark, between 300 and 500 years. That's true. That's a lot of birthday parties. The Greenland shark belongs to a shark species that has been on Earth more than 100 million years. Again, probably not that same species, but this lineage, yes. They're another living fossil in that the rest of their lineage is gone. Okay, tricky name. Gurry are the parts left over after you fillet or debone a fish. Gurry is often used for crab and lobster bait. Okay. The Megamouth usually eats tiny fish and krill. It wouldn't know how to attack a Greenland shark. The Greenland shark swims towards the Megamouth. The hungry Greenland shark attacks the Megamouth. Bump fact. Some sharks bump first to try to figure out what a creature or object is made of. Greenland sharks have been found swimming 1 mile below the ocean surface. Okay. The Megamouth has a lot of teeth, but they're small and useless in a fight like this. The Greenland shark chews up the Megamouth. Yes. Greenland shark wins. We're at the end of the first round. Only 8 sharks are left in the competition. Good. Yes, that's how that would go. So 8 fights. We're 8 fights in, and the 7 that were comically lopsided all went as they should. But I think at this point it's going to get a little bit harder to pick winners. And so here we're starting out bull shark versus Mako shark. So this is round 2, match 1. This is a hard one. It's a hard one. Bull sharks are like 13 feet long and 1,300 pounds. And Mako sharks are 13 feet long and 1,300 pounds. So they're the same size. In fresh water, the bull shark would win absolutely without even fighting. But in open water, I would go with the Mako shark because they're just way faster. But let's see what they have to say. Okay, so the bull shark fought a filter feeder to get to round 2. Now it faces speed and sharp teeth. This is a challenge. Who will win? Who will get into the shark final 4? The Mako is so fast, the bull shark has trouble finding it. The bull shark has trouble chasing its opponent. Some sharks attack from below, other sharks attack from above. Okay. The bull shark's going to do well in murky water or in fresh water, obviously. The Mako shark is going to do better in open water, and that's where I actually suspect that a fight like this would occur. So I'm going to go with the Mako due to its speed, but there are certainly many scenarios where it would go the other way. So this could go either way. Speed is a great weapon, but eventually the Mako has to confront the bull shark. The bull shark is too strong and too nasty for the Mako. The bull shark overpowers the Mako. The bull shark has a stronger jaw. Bull shark wins. Okay, so the bull shark does have stronger jaws, but honestly, a bite from either of these would be catastrophic, and I'm not sure that the bull shark would have the advantage there. But at least from this picture, it does look like this was a comparatively small Mako, and that would make a difference. So, bull shark it is, I guess. All right, hammerhead shark versus tiger shark. Some people thought the hammerhead might end up in the championship match against the tiger shark, but they must meet in the second round. They tag along, pilot fish get protection, and leftover food by following sharks as they swim. I agree hammerhead is a solid contender here, but as I said from the beginning, my money is on the tiger shark against all but one other shark in this competition. But like the last fight, I wouldn't doubt that a great hammerhead could take down a tiger shark, especially a big hammerhead versus a small tiger shark. So we'll just have to see how this goes. The hammerhead has a smaller mouth than the tiger shark. The tiger shark glides to the sides and bites off one of the hammerhead's eyes. The hammerhead is in trouble. That would be bad. That would be a real problem. The tiger shark then bites it on the back. Tiger shark wins. Yep, that would be catastrophic. Okay, so great white shark versus blacktip shark. Again, that is a blacktip reef shark, but either way, This is not a fight. This is a feeding. So, could the great white shark eat every other shark in this book? Too bad the megalodon isn't around to swallow the great white shark with one bite. The great white shark starts swimming towards the blacktip shark. Tail fact, sea mammals have horizontal tails. Almost all sharks have vertical tails. Not sure which shark doesn't have a vertical tail. Okay, anyway, the blacktip shark sees the great white shark and realizes that this is a serious contest. There is no place to hide. Blacktip sharks are often found in large packs or groups. That's true for either one. The great white shark attacks. It hides its eyes as it opens its huge jaw and wounds the blacktip shark, though its eyes do appear to be not hidden here. And they have no nictitating membranes, but they can rock them back, and then their eyes go white, lifeless like a doll's eyes or some such goodness. Anyway, the aggressive blacktip shark wants to escape, but it's too late. It becomes lunch. Great white shark wins. But, of course, that's the outcome. Next round, cat versus grasshopper. Thresher shark versus Greenland shark. Greenland shark. These guys are big, like 7 meters and 1,400 kilos kind of big. And threshers are smaller with disproportionately small mouths. Good tails for whipping small fish, but not so good for fighting off giant sharks that eat other sharks. The thresher shark, with its fancy tail and tricky turns, tries to intimidate the Greenland shark. Its strategy does not work. Greenland sharks, not easily intimidated by whippy tails. The Greenland shark is bigger and not scared. It is ready to show off its strong jaw. Dental fact, the shark loses thousands of teeth during its lifetime. It grows new ones to replace them. Humans have 32 adult teeth. When the thresher shark swims near, the Greenland shark bites a chunk out of the thresher shark. The thresher shark is overcome by the Greenland shark's strength. Don't mess with an old pro. Greenland shark wins. That seems right. That's it. The shark final four is set. Bull shark, tiger shark, great white shark, and Greenland shark. All the filter feeders are gone. I gotta say, this final four seems totally reasonable. If I was picking 4 extant sharks that have a chance, I might have substituted the bull shark for the great hammerhead, but this is a totally fair final four. Nothing typically stupid has happened so far. To this point, we have probably learned more correct facts from this book than we did from Shark Week, which is nuts, because these books are the worst. Bull shark versus tiger shark. Tiger shark. Okay. There are only 4 competitors left. Should we call it round 3 fight 1 or the semifinals? Oh right, it's the shark final 4. This is a fight of almost equals. Both are ferocious sharks. Each is considered a man-eater. The bull shark and the tiger shark are often in the news. Almost equals, except one is way bigger than the other. The bull shark approaches the tiger shark. The tiger shark goes after the bull shark. The tiger shark is longer and heavier. The bull shark is broader. Is it though? I mean, for its length. Anyway, okay. This is a serious fight. Someone is gonna get hurt. Hasn't someone gotten hurt in every fight so far? The tiger shark overpowers the bull shark. Crunch! The bull shark slowly sinks. Tiger shark wins. And, this wasn't the box turtle versus sea turtle. So this is correct. This is a serious fight, not one of those dance-offs that we're so used to. Great white shark versus Greenland shark. I'm gonna go great white. Though Greenland sharks are bigger and they hunt similar prey, but they seem to be very slow, so we'll see what happens. The great white shark waits for the Greenland shark to swim towards the surface. They are about the same size. The great white shark is a faster swimmer. The teeth are bigger and sharper. The Greenland shark is not as agile or able to move as quickly as the great white shark. The great white shark is more intelligent. What's the great white shark strategy? Well, it sounds like it's got all the tools. Everything. It wins in every category. The great white shark starred in 4 famous movies: Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, and Jaws the Revenge. Man, this whole fight seems like it's over before we even turn the page, but we'll see what happens. At full speed, the great white shark attacks from below. Crunch! It rips the soft underbelly of the Greenland shark. The great white shark knew it did not want its first bite to be against the Greenland shark's tougher upside. Did it know that? How did it? Why would it? Anyway. Goodbye, Greenland shark. Now, okay, before I go on, what is with these teeth? Like, sharks have rows of teeth, but they don't just go all the way down their throats. They look like this. So, they have like a tooth whorl that starts in the jaw and whirls out. It doesn't start down their throat and make their way to the front. That is not a good drawing. Not so good. Okay. But anyway, great white shark wins. That seems right. We should have known the movie star Great White Shark would make it to the finals. Okay, so championship match. tiger shark versus great white shark. Well, I probably would have picked the T-Rex of extant sharks, but this drawing here where the tiger shark is already biting a chunk out of the great white, this has me doubting how this is really going to go. Plus they're about the same size. So anyway, okay. Two ferocious sharks battle back and forth. Tiger shark versus great white shark. A blunt head against a pointy head. Eyes on the side versus eyes up front. A square jaw confronts an oval jaw. The great white shark tries to attack from below. The tiger shark stays close to the bottom. As the great white shark swims by, the tiger shark, with its long tail, makes a quick turn and bites into the great white. The great white shark is bleeding. Alright, so based on the fact that the great white shark is already injured and the history of turning ability being crucial in these books, it looks to me like this is going to go to the tiger shark. Like I said before, great white sharks get bigger than tiger sharks, but these two seem to be about the same size, so that also takes away a lot of the advantage that a great white shark would have. So under these circumstances, my bet is on the tiger shark. But that said, great white sharks get to be about twice the size of tiger sharks and eat big sharks with some regularity. I would say that great whites probably eat adult tiger sharks much more often than tiger sharks eat adult great whites. But we'll see what happens. The tiger shark is skinnier than the wide great white. In most fights, a great white shark would win. But today is different. In this battle, the tiger shark is a better warrior. The tiger shark wins. He even acknowledges that the great white would win. So once again, these books confirm that they shouldn't be called who would win, but maybe something like could this possibly happen? But anyway, tiger shark wins. This is one way the competition might have ended. Write your own ending and think of a new version of an Ultimate Rumble book. Okay, so they're really like they just can't have the correct winner in these books, can they? So that was stupid. That was a stupid ending. I am actually tempted to write a book like this about who would actually win. But for now, I have 2 more of these horrible books. I have it on good authority that this one is the worst of them all. And we have another one on sharks. So the pain is not over, but I have a terrible idea. I could release a supercut of all of these books when we finish them, like an anthology of pain where you can watch the life drain from my eyes over a couple of hours. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. And as always, like and subscribe, and we hope to see you real soon.
I didn't get sleep last night.
Why not?
I couldn't go to sleep.
Did you try my technique?
What's your technique, Clint?
Okay, so so this is a technique that's worked for me. I've used it in the last 2 nights.
NyQuil.
NyQuil is unbelievably effective. I told you about that? So I'd never taken NyQuil until my freshman year in college. I was in a dorm and it was a shared room. And that was the night when I learned how people become addicted to sleep medication. Because I had a cough and I was worried about waking up my roommate. And so I would cough and I would stress and then I would lay awake and try to fight off cough and then I'd cough again and I didn't sleep at all. And then I took NyQuil. So I think maybe he or somebody else recommended I take NyQuil. I took NyQuil. And that night, I coughed a few times, and then I'd fall back asleep before my head would even hit the pillow again. I just didn't care, and I'd just be right back to sleep. And I woke up in the morning, and I was like, not only was that the best night's sleep I've ever had with a cough, that was the best night's sleep I've ever had. I should take that every night. Oh. There it is.